You just got to convince they need some sort of ongoing ad campaign.
Yeah, I just like
Action Jack.
I'll just animate ScoMo doing stuff, and I'll make him look okay. And he would do that. He'd go for that.
There's not enough money in the world to make that actually
I was
work.
going to say, the problem is if you animated him relatively well at all, you would be doing something that no one else has been able to do in his professional life.
He would look nothing like ScoMo. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Neon City Daily Podcast. I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Josh.
And I'm still Dave.
And we're doing a podcast here, and we're going to talk to each other for a while, and it's probably going to be really good. I reckon you'll listen to it on some kind of application if it gets released. And how's everyone been?
If it gets released.
If it gets released. I thank you for reiterating. I didn't get that the first time. Apologies to those that are looking at the moment for episode 2 that's not up, but it will be by the time you listen to this, hopefully.
Yes, it will be, Josh, because we are sitting here today and we are going to watch you do it.
After we record this one.
Could probably just edit this one at the same time.
Realistically, it's going to be about as much
He's
effort.
editing the podcast.
If you could edit it live while we record this one.
This is why I want to do it on Twitch. Just do all our podcasts
So they're
live.
just
They're
there.
They're just there.
Just download them from Twitch and upload them to the podcast platforms.
You will not download and upload.
That's true. 30 days will expire and it's gone forever.
Yeah, it'll be gone forever.
Probably not a bad thing for some things that get said on this podcast and they're gone forever.
Unfortunately, people will clip them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a-
So
yeah.
here you have creative freedom to go like, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
A peek behind the curtain.
In fairness, that hurt. In fairness,
People don't. It just sounds like that. You really sunk in for a second, like, oh man.
As opposed to you
no,
cutting yourself.
I
with
cut
some
myself
cutters.
with some clippers. I forgot what I was saying.
But it was fair.
Yeah, there was something fair about. I'm trying to defend myself.
Yeah,
I think that's all it was.
The moment you let blood, you like forgot where your bullshit train was going.
But anyway, moving right along.
Doobie-doom, doobie-doom. Sorry.
You guys been playing any games?
Yeah, a little. We've been Nick and I hit some Sea of Thieves the other night.
He took my spot. Did he take my spot?
Yeah, because he didn't answer. So.
I was like 10 minutes from answering. I saw your text and I'm like...
See, I answered quicker, I guess.
Actually, no, you worded it weirdly.
Yeah, because you didn't. I just asked you if you wanted to be pirate ? And
I'm like,
and you said
what
something.
are we talking
What an
about?
existential
Digital
question.
butt
Like,
C.
See,
So-
I understood the code.
Yeah, so I actually wrote back and went, huh?
You said huh, I said yeah.
yeah, pretty much. That's how that worked.
I could have still jumped in and just kept server hopping.
But that was actually really because we checked out some of the new content.
Yeah.
That first one,
Yeah.
because they've added like merchant alliance like salvage runs now,
Okay.
which are actually they were incredibly chill. Like obviously we didn't see any other players. I'm sure to go to shit as soon as other players are involved. But it was just like, hey, here's like you talk to the merchant alliance. They go, hey, these guys were going from here to there. Didn't see him after that. So you kind of just follow the clues and you find stuff in the water
okay,
and
yes.
it's
It's a literal treasure hunt.
It's a literal hop place to place.
And you get like a lot of stuff to turn in.
Well, it's basically like you end up. Jamie made it a little bit unfortunate.
What?
But you end up, you did, and you don't remember. But you what you do is like basically at the end of it, well, for the one that we did anyway.
I do remember.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. We got to a like a sunken ship, and in that sunken ship, if you've followed all the clues and you've gotten all the stuff along the way, you should have the key. You can then open like the captain's quarters in this ship, and it's basically like doing one of the vaults, and you get it from there. And it's like, it's just it's really chill. That was actually I think what I enjoyed about it the most. It was just bumbling.
We're going tell them how I messed up.
But when you get in the ship, the thing that you don't want to get first, and you want to get everything else out, is this like parchment or a manifest.
It's a book.
You don't want to get it. You want to leave it there until you're done with everything else.
Why is that? Because it triggers the end of it or something?
Yeah, it finishes the voyage.
Right.
And so we roll into this ship. Me and Jamie
what
go
Jamie did.
swimming on in. And I go, oh yeah, there's a skeleton. He's got a thing. He's got this big roll of paper, and Jamie's, oh yeah, yoink.
Now see,
So
it was the first time I'd ever done that, and I didn't know what to expect, and I was told that there is a book or a manifest. Don't grab the manifest before we grab the thing. And I roll up, and there's this skeleton. He's got like this big piece of parchment scroll, and I'm thinking I'm looking for a book. And so I just see, I can grab a thing here. Don't know what it is. Voyage over. No.
How long do they take, or how long did that one take?
to be fair, they don't take too long. I don't think really. That was
I'd
maybe,
say like 2.5 hours. Maybe.
yeah, maybe. And that was we
Oh.
were being thorough, and because like one of the things with it is while you're looking for the stuff on these trade routes, you just basically got to look for birdies in the sky.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
so under that there's some stuff, and you go and do the stuff. Some stuff's on some islands, and it's just
Yeah.
it varies it like pretty well. But no, it was good, and that took us into the fact that there's Josh. Why are you fucking your fingers
Cutting
up
my
with a pair
nails
of
with
model
that.
clippers?
Do not do that.
If you start bleeding all over your own table,
We're not stopping the podcast.
that's it. We're done. Yeah, we are going to keep going. But yeah, so there's also a season passing now for Sea of Thieves, where I think realistically it looks like it's not that hard to get through. You just exist and you just do stuff, and there's events. It's.
You got fudge.
I did get fudge.
Sorry, it's just all fudge on the table.
Chocolate raspberry fudge, Josh.
It seems to be
And
the,
so you seem to be able to like get through it pretty well, and the rewards are pretty decent. There's some, it's
well,
Sea
they're
of
not
Thieves, so everything's
great.
cosmetics.
I'd say the rewards are like low to middling.
Yeah.
Are they better when you don't end the mission straight away?
No.
you would get more experience though.
Right, okay.
It's the exact same thing. It's just a battle pass.
Yeah.
And so it seems to be that the speed that you clear the battle pass, if you're like active constantly, I reckon you could get through it pretty
Well, not
quickly.
even. I mean, we've done what? We've had 2 sessions, like kicking
I
around.
just mean like when you're playing the game, if you're like active, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
digging
No, if you're
around
doing
and
stuff,
like just
yeah.
digging holes or whatever.
But yeah, like we I think we've had 2 sessions. We both, I think, like out of the 100 levels, I think we're both like level 18 or something,
yeah,
sitting there, and
We must have missed the invite, Dave.
what,
you did.
you, Dave was at work and you didn't answer.
10 minutes.
He just wasn't clear on the type of piracy. It's
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah, I was already on a torrent site waiting for you.
I was
Pirate Bay,
going
yeah.
to say, I was going to say, do we want to resume seeing if we can do some Friday night streams soon next week?
Yeah, I think we plan to.
Jump
didn't
on
we?
some pirate
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Sure. Yeah, I'm
You can
down.
check out this new stuff.
that'd be good.
That'd be great. I think like all of us as a crew, and I'm willing. I said this to Josh last week. If we get on and do stream, I'm willing to give Josh a night of just dickery. I'm willing to raise the dick flag and just spend the night hunting down
It's not
other
a flag
ships.
that's a picture of.
I mean,
it.
I
It's a
try that
skull
anyway, but I get yelled at. So
Yeah,
you're saying,
so this is what
so
I'm
you're
thinking
saying I
is
won't
like,
get yelled at this time.
I'm okay with if we set us like one night, we just go, this is what we're doing.
Can I put a condition on it?
Maybe.
Why would you want to condition
Why would
on
you
the thing
want
you
it?
want
I'm
to do?
giving you what you want.
Because it needs to be maximum enjoyment, but
Yeah.
best chance possible to actually win any fights.
Oh yeah, we'd fill up the but like yeah,
but
I'm
condition.
not
The only
going.
condition I
What
wanna
is,
put-
what is your condition?
Nick needs to be at least a 5 out of 10 drunk. Because he is super aggressive,
He always is.
You
anyway.
already know
Why-
I will
why-
be.
but I don't want you 10 out of 10 drunk. I don't want Nick drunk. Like,
You want Dave drunk, probably.
yeah, just like taper it back a little bit. There's a sweet
Yeah,
spot
So you-
okay.
you-
where I don't get abused by a drunk Nick. But the enemy will
the
chase
enemy
him
will
like a
get-
dog.
yeah.
You really
Yeah.
play with fire when you get alcohol in the mix
I was
system.
gonna say this is a difficult balance.
We can set our watches to it. Like
You're
it's
bringing-
a scale.
You're bringing alchemy into the stream, here, Josh.
It's like, honestly, it's like 5 minutes in. Like, it doesn't matter.
There's a little tiny window where we
Nick has a
can.
drink, and then you're just like, let's do a thing. You're like, what the fuck, Josh? It's like, oh,
We missed the window.
It's gone now.
you should have had a little sippy.
Ooh.
We should put you on like a drip that we can
Well,
remotely
What I was
control.
actually, what I was thinking was, do we want to, when we do the Dick Pirate stream, do we want to, instead of
Can
sitting
we
in a
not
party,
call it that?
No. when we go and
Richard
do
Pirate stream.
our
Yeah,
chat,
that's right.
when we're in our chat,
Yeah.
instead of being in a party where only we can hear us, I'm thinking we just go into the server.
Oh, you
where
want just
everyone can hear
game
us.
chat?
I'd like if we just hang out in game chat,
That's a
so
thing.
everyone
That's
can
de-
hear us.
Yeah.
Voice chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
you can
if we-
actually set
if
it
we
so
didn't-
everyone in the server hears you.
If we didn't
In the game?
if we didn't go
It's
into the
proximity
party,
chat.
Oh,
if
it's
we-
proximity chat. Yeah, yeah.
If we didn't go into a party and we didn't like have a private voice chat,
yeah,
we could be having proximity chat that everyone
Yeah.
can hear,
yeah.
which means we can abuse everyone.
Now, if we do that, you do know that, like, if one of us, I don't know who, like, jumps off a boat when they see a shiny thing, could be anyone. You won't know that they're gone because you won't be able to hear me.
Or we'll go, we can't hear Jamie anymore.
Yeah.
Suddenly
Suddenly
he's
we're
fighting
going,
himself.
oh,
I
so
already
it's
made
one or
that
the
joke,
other.
Dave. I beat you
No,
to it.
I'm pretty sure that the crew can always hear each other.
Okay,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for whatever is the most antagonistic approach.
I mean,
There we
I
go.
always have proximity chat enabled anyway, like, because it's just push to
True,
talk.
yeah,
So,
you
like,
use your
I'm like the
push to
one
talk,
guy
yeah.
when we're in the Xbox party.
they can hear anyone.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm like, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, that's how you hooked us up with the New Zealanders.
Mm-hmm.
I was making New Zealand jokes, but Jamie they couldn't hear me. It was a bit of a waste of some of my best content. But it was good because Jamie was playing a diplomat.
yeah.
Yeah, I was an emissary.
Yeah.
But
We are friends.
But no, I think I'll give Josh that at least once. I think we owe it to him. He's kept with us for this long.
I have been
actually,
on my
like,
best
general-
behaviour.
He like, to be fair, yeah. Last couple streams, I think he was on like best behavior for
know
the
what I
big boy.
think?
If we end up making more money
We won't.
by
It's not about the money.
by
Josh.
pirating other people though,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
Then
Oh yeah. No, I'm taking all the shit that.
can
yeah.
we do it a second time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
going to say
we'll
right
see
now,
how it
we
goes.
absolutely will not make more money because
I
the
reckon
stuff
we
that
will.
Nick and I have
It
been pulling in,
depends.
like, hot damn.
Well, that's the thing. It depends. If we come across someone,
We
that's
could
in
just
the middle
camp
of a run,
outposts.
we come across someone that's in the middle of a run that has a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
in their hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to feel like a little bit of a dick, but I'm also going to be happy that my
No,
pockets are
no.
full.
I've always maintained it's a pirate game. You gotta
That's
It's happened to
why-
us.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
gotta
I'm
suck it up.
thinking
Now-
I'll give you a night.
Now, you know what I think?
Oh no.
I think that your altruistic appearance here is just a facade. And I think that you've just been hanging out with people and you've been kind of like playing the game, doing the normal thing, and you got that itch.
Oh,
You're
man,
thinking, I want to kill someone.
I'm not actually trying to hide it all. That is 100% how I'm going. Because like I literally had a moment the other day where I was like, "Oh, look at that other ship. They're not being aggressive at all." Literally last night actually was a really hard moment where we went past that
that guy.
brigantine,
Oh, right,
that
yeah.
3-man ship.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking at them and I'm like, they're in fucking range so hard. And I was just like, we loaded all the cannons previously in case they were dicks, but I'm sitting there and I was like, if 3 of us were on these and we just started blasting.
exactly.
So I feel like, especially because one of the other things that we can do is raise like the Reavers like emissary flag.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
people know
Then
we're
we'll
coming.
have another faction that we getting stuff in and things.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's we might as well do it. It's a faction.
might as well do it
haven't
all the
got
time.
Any
I hear you.
stuff. No.
The thing is also, like, are you prepared to let that genie out of the box?
Yeah.
Like that Josh will never ever shut up about us doing like PvP again.
Because like
one
the thing
time
is-
of bloodletting.
The thing is, we go for this one time.
If I
of
get down to my
bloodletting,
system, I
and
reckon we'll be all right.
If we get out
Liar.
like this one like cycle of bloodletting, I seriously doubt we will make enough everything else, like coin wise, to make it worth it every time.
It isn't fun just wrecking people.
Yeah, so it's just like we'll do it and we'll play it, and it'll be fun. But it'll be like, okay, we made $2 instead of 30 million.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you do it for the love, not the
Yeah,
money.
yeah, you do it for the enjoyment
Yeah.
of the.
I don't know. I still maintain we could make some good money.
You could
depending on
potentially-
Depending on the ships we
Yeah.
hit, and if we don't suck.
I have looked at the Sea Thieves Reddit a lot,
Yeah.
and so many people on there post pictures of their ships just literally can't see the deck. It's just
Yeah,
covered in
yeah,
treasure.
yeah.
If we find one of them, we might make some money.
I mean,
Yeah.
when we did like that that salvage run though, I reckon we could have done the same thing as well. But we just like put everything in one big pile.
Oh yeah, no, like that's the thing. We store everything in one big pile because we're paranoid about
of-
people doing what we talk
about what
doing.
we're about to do. Yeah.
Part of me, I really wish that the way that Sea of Thieves handled the treasure is like it had like some physics to it, and it had
Oh, that
dimension.
suck.
But Like not like aggressive physics. Like
So you can just launch it when you get to the outpost.
Once it landed somewhere, it stayed there, right?
Yeah.
But I wish that it would be like, okay, so this is a treasure chest. It takes up physical space.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just like pile them in. You'd have to stack them.
Oh god.
And if you hit a storm, it could go overboard.
That was actually why as soon as Jamie mentioned physics, I was like, that'd suck.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Heavy
the first
boat
thing
and you
I
can't
thought
run
of.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want a literal, actual, like...
You want a stacking
I
system.
want a pile of skulls. An actual pile of skulls. And, so get on it, Rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't put like 14,000 treasure chests up.
Well, we've got
in your birds.
We've almost got a
Immediately.
direct line to
Yeah.
Rare now.
Yeah.
So that was 2 nights this week. Have you been playing anything else, James?
I don't think I have.
Really?
Actually, I played a little bit of Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Oh, nice.
which is
Amazing.
How very 2013 of me. Or
Yeah,
something?
about that.
Didn't
yeah,
it get a re-release though?
Yeah, it got a
Yeah,
re-release
that's
with
it.
like the DLC and stuff.
That is the re-release.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is the re-release. Yeah.
2013.
Oh
no.
Oh.
It came out in
Recent re-release.
2013.
It's the
Oh,
exact
right.
same
So
game.
that's not a very recent re-release.
But no, it was it got the re-release this year, like a couple months,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
a month back, something
So I
like that.
play a little bit of that, and still a fun game. But there is a weird bug that has kind of like come over that whoever ported it just hasn't fixed for whatever reason, and it's just sometimes the doors don't work, and doors are a big deal.
Doors are a big deal in that game.
In that game, like they, you need to go indoors to progress, and you got to like just hit the sweet pixel, and you finally go in. And so I don't know why Ubisoft haven't gone, we should fix that.
Well,
But
considering that, like,
It came out in 2013.
Yeah,
We've released it. But who
Don't
cares?
yeah, but it's a re-release for like it costs more to buy now than it did when it first came out. It's ridiculous.
Well, that and the fact that, like, in that game, like, that bug specifically makes me immediately think of the fact that to get... Because, like, you it's a beat-em-up, it's a brawler, but you also have levels, like an RPG system.
Yeah.
And the way to make yourself better is to go through these doors and buy shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that'd suck if you just couldn't.
It's just kind of hard mode.
There's
yeah.
a point where we were in the cemetery, and I've gone like, oh, if we go through here, we can get our ultimate techniques, which is like just a strong attack.
Yeah.
Couldn't go through the bloody door.
Oh, so...
I had to like shimmy up to a tree and just like wiggle until my guy vanished for a second. And it's like, that's the magic spot.
So you're playing this with Lauren? Can you play couch and online at the same time?
We wanted to try that the other night.
Okay, we'll try it later tonight.
Yeah.
But
But if not, it's fine. We've got 2 Xboxes.
who are you guys playing as?
I'm playing as Scott and she's playing as Ramona.
Okay, good, because neither of you were taking Kim.
You're going to be Ken, yeah.
I can vaguely remember some characters from the movie. That's-
Kim was my jam. Kim's Kim's immediately like, yeah, that one. I want that
Who
one.
did Elizabeth Winstead play?
The Ramona.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I still maintain that Ramona's just Bruce Willis's daughter from Die Hard, and it's the same universe.
I've never heard
don't
you have that
remember his
theory
daughter.
before.
In Die Hard 4. The not very good one.
Die Hard 4.0.
Is that Die Hard? Who was the villain in that?
Bruce Willis.
Jeremy Irons. Age.
Jeremy Irons was 3.
4 was Justin Long.
Yeah, 4 had Justin
That
Long
was a
in it.
weird villain choice.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, he was the sidekick.
He was the
kid.
sidekick
It was
guy.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the villain.
yeah.
Yeah. I do love me some Oliphant.
just
It's-
actually sounds
yeah,
like
no,
that should be the
you
name
can-
of the villain, not the actor.
Yeah, I know,
You
right?
can chuck some Oliphant in generally everything and make it better, but Die Hard 4 just
He was a
wasn't.
controversial
very
opinion.
good.
He was a good hitman. Did you ever see his hitman?
I didn't see it,
movie?
actually. No.
We should watch it. He's a good hitman.
Unsurprisingly, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
He's a good hitman. He is. That Hitman movie is so good. And then they tried to do another one a few years ago. But they went for like just an all-out action film for some reason. Just completely...
That's not even Hitman.
No.
You know what
it
I
could-
don't get about the Hitman film? The actual Hitman character in the game is modelled off his voice actor, who is an actual theatrical actor.
I thought you were going to say an actual Hitman
Why
there.
did an actual real life? Why didn't they get the actor for Hitman to play Hitman?
Because he's probably not very good.
What do you mean?
Like, because okay, you got to think about this. Like, if we talk about, like, let's say the first one, you got Timothy Oliphant, consistently proven that he is an amazing actor in a lot of different
has an
roles.
awesome walk.
Then you've got guy that got hired to be a voice in a video game.
Agent 47.
Yeah,
But he's probably like a C grade.
That's what I'm
actor
thinking. Like,
in
if you
film.
suddenly put him in face, like, he's probably done some like theater work, and like, so he's not gonna. I obviously there's the offside chance that he's amazing and he just hasn't got his break or whatever.
I don't think he's
But
American.
because one of the things too, I think, is like if you look at say Max Payne. They did a Max Payne movie.
So good.
It's not. It's fucking
so
awful.
good.
But like
This is like the bar that you're coming from here. And I'm very much doubting the Hitman is good.
But so like you look at the Max Payne thing, and you're just like they got the voice actor and blah. But like you look at that and you're like, yeah, they couldn't have used him.
No,
Constipated man.
because the voice actor for Max Payne wasn't like he wasn't. Yeah, he's a voice actor.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
But like he also like this guy is like completely modeled after.
Oh no, I get it. But if I look at like Timothy Olyphant and guy that did a voice in a video game, I'm going Timothy Olyphant
video
every
game
time.
voice, man.
Like, it's just, it's how
Maybe
it
he can do
works.
the stage play.
Yeah,
Coins
That's why
being
I'm
flipped
excited
around.
to see a Metal Gear movie with Kiefer Sutherland
I'm not.
No.
because he's an actor.
I don't care.
See, you could have
Because he shouldn't have been.
But
he shouldn't have been there to start with. He should have stayed in his lane.
But like that's another one. Like if they did do a Metal Gear movie,
They couldn't use David Hayter for Snake
They,
either.
they could have.
No.
Like not now.
Yeah,
But back in the day, they could have.
maybe. Yeah.
Why not now? Is he dead?
He's just older.
Just old.
He's too old for
yeah.
it.
Same thing in Hollywood.
But like I mean, like they
Like he's like right up on internet stuff. I did enjoy the fact that he literally lent his voice to a clip of him saying that he's trying to sneak around, but the clap of his ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Are away from guns. So
I mean, remember in Metal Gear 4 when they had like those weird like video segments and they just had like one with David Hayter talking to a news anchor and he had like the solid eye on. And he's just talking about- like,
vaguely. Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize just like how close he was to actually looking like Snake at the time. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh shit.
Well, see, the thing is, what I would have wanted was if you were going to make a movie about Metal Gear, was to make it back in the 90s and have Kurt Russell be Snake.
Yeah.
Because that's who he was
That's
modelled
that's
off,
acceptable
like to
as
start
well.
with. Like that was the deal. Like he was modelled after Snake Plissken.
Speaking
from
of
the
Max
Escape
Payne, because
series.
Marky Mark Wahlberg's in
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He's in the new Uncharted film.
Gross.
So Tom Holland,
What's he doing?
Spider-Man.
I think he's Sully.
Yeah, he is. He's
Oh,
Sully, and
really?
Tom Holland is a young Drake.
Oh, nah. See, nah. Not any
happening.
of that. I'm
It's
not
happening.
fine with
See,
any
like,
of that.
and
Like, Sully's just supposed to look like someone's fucking dad.
some,
like, he's just...
he is like a kindly uncle that
Yeah.
will help you rob a
But
bank.
they're going
Drunkle.
early.
Yeah, but
Early
he
days.
always looked like a drunkle.
Early with Tom Holland. It's like,
Yeah.
jeez. Yeah, 10
Tom Holland,
Yeah, he's
I think
still
he's
in
like
grade
30,
school.
but he looks like he's 10.
He
babies.
It's Uncharted goes to Paris with the Rugrats.
Yeah, the Rugrats. I see.
Oh man, like, and I don't know, like the way that they do the Uncharted games, like the performances
It's
from
so
the actors
weird.
in those games,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
already so iconic.
Yeah.
that anything else that they do it's just going to be like a weird imitation.
Realistically, what everyone wanted years ago when this first got brought up was that Nathan Fillion would be
Yeah.
Nathan
He
Drake.
even did a really good fan
Yeah,
like film.
and everyone wanted that. That's what everyone wanted. But then they went,
I mean-
wait, we need to make it look like Nathan Drake that can't grow a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drake,
right.
Drake initially was very obviously modeled after Fillion.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I think after that they kind of like got him closer to his voice actor.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. As it went on,
What
he
was
looked
his
more
name?
and more like
Not
the guy.
Tom Holland.
He's in like
Nolan
everything.
North.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Nolan
it's
North.
North. Yeah.
Speaking of video game adaptions,
Oh no.
I saw a clip on Instagram of Kevin Hart doing tactical. He was at a shooting range
Yeah.
because he's been cast as a lead in the Borderlands movie.
What?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but if Kevin Hart's rolling, I'm gonna shit bricks.
He is.
Oh, fuck up.
I'm
No.
pretty sure he's rolling.
No.
Who's
No.
There's a Borderlands movie? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
not
in
gonna be
development hell for eons.
Like all video game movies.
Yeah, like every video game movie, except, Monster Hunter came out.
Oh, are you
I never
saying
saw
that's the good
Assassin's
one?
Creed.
No, I'm saying it came out.
I never saw Assassin's Creed.
I
the
haven't
movie.
either, to be honest.
Fassbender.
I generally avoid it. Like, it's got the Fass in it, and I like the Fass, but I just don't see it being...
The problem with video game movies is that most of the time
They're terrible.
Yui bowls
Like,
attached.
like the story.
Some of those are
Make you
amazing, and I will not hear anything else about it.
The thing about like adapting a video game story is that like a video game is like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of story with like
Then you
strapped
get
between about an hour of just non-stop violence, and that doesn't make for good cinema because like it's very repetitive
Well,
violence.
no, you could like if you watch John Wick. Like,
No. John Wick is a story that is violence.
Yeah.
Like it's very
just tacked on.
like
Yeah.
it's more of a kung fu flick
Yeah, yeah.
than it is like it's like, and it's smart about it.
oh
It
yeah,
just
no,
goes
it's
like,
it's like this amazing return to form to good action movies.
man
so-
have dog, love dog, man kill dog, get revenge, and
go.
Kill people with horses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that I've actually seen it.
Just confirming Kevin Hart is Roland.
God, why?
Kate Blanchett
He's like,
is
Lilith.
Lilith.
Yeah.
you know what? That's fine because like,
She's a talented actress.
Yeah,
but that
no,
seems like a
she's-
weird choice for her.
nah, I can
Career-wise.
see her doing that really well. No, I can like she's actually because I mean,
Yes or
let's
no?
face it, what?
She was hot in Thor.
Yeah, God, it's
Yeah.
actually what I was trying to work out how to say was that like, but I was
You don't
trying
have to be tactful. Have you been on the podcast
I
before?
have, and look at who I am.
Yeah.
But but that was kind of like my thing. Like Kate Blanchett was
He's taut.
Stop bringing that back.
You of
No,
all people, Josh.
she like genuinely was like because my first thing of like going, hey, Kate Blanchett as an actress was Lord of the Rings because she was Galadriel, and that was that. But that was like all I saw her as for ages. Then I found out that she'd been in like a bunch of random New Zealand film
Yeah,
stuff and
yeah.
all this, and so I was just like, oh God, like she actually has a career outside of the
got
thing I
range.
liked. Yeah, so she's actually got a heap. Then she was
Kevin
in
Hart,
Thor.
conversely, no range.
Kevin Hart's just fucking Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
everything he's ever in. But
He's like Will Ferrell.
yeah.
Or Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, dare I say it?
Yeah.
That's Tom Cruise and everything.
But Kate Blanchett. Then when she did Thor Ragnarok, that was when I was like, you know what? I remember you from Lord of the Rings fairly specifically, and now from Thor Ragnarok. That is such a different range of everything.
Yeah.
That I was just like, this is you're awesome. So she will be fine as Lilith. I can see that working. I'm really dirty on Kevin Hart being Roland.
Randy
That
Pitchford
sucks.
tweeted.
I thought you were going to say Randy Pitchford
Pitchford
is
is
someone.
Mordecai.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Who, for those that don't know, is his Gearbox's.
The guy who left kiddie porn in
Yeah,
a
he's a
USB
massive
drive
pervert.
on a
Yeah.
kiddie dino.
I'm
yeah.
excited about Kevin becoming a Borderlands badass. To the outside world that is quick to typecast, this move may be seen as risky.
Yeah, it's
while
bad.
while I'm not afraid of risk, like
No,
leaving
clearly
porn
not.
on a USB.
Yeah.
Kevin's exceptional talent and commitment to and understanding
dude.
of story and character does not feel risky to me.
He's also
What?
a grifter.
He was. I was gonna say he was in fucking Jumanji. Like, calm down.
Oh, Jack
Jumanji,
Black-
not necessarily a bad film,
Dude,
but
dude.
that's him every time.
What if, like, speaking of Jumanji, and like thinking about the cast for that, and thinking about Brick, they should get Jack Black to play Brick.
You know what? With the rest of their casting choices, other than Kate Blanchett, yeah,
The Rock can be Mordecai.
yeah, that's it.
Dude, I'd watch Jack Black in any
Oh,
series.
to be
film.
fair, he is one of the guys. Like I saw a thing the other day that was talking about how Jack Black is one of the few human beings that does not need context at all, and I assume he's meant to be there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, yeah. He like to me, he's like if I just saw him doing like if I saw him bungee jumping out of someone's ass crack in the middle of a porno,
That's Jack Black.
I'd be like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
It's just one of those normal
Just a
things
Tuesday
where
for
you
Jack.
just be like, oh, that's just the thing he's done. So
Yeah.
I just assume he will possibly be everywhere at any point.
It was interesting. I saw Kyle Gass.
Yeah.
He just still does like little acting bits.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
just
in
little-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine and
yeah, he floats around.
yeah,
here and there.
things like that. He was in Friends even, I think, at one point. Not Friends. I saw him in something else. But yeah,
Jeez,
he
okay.
just pops up in
he
random
just turns up.
shows every
Yeah.
now and then. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
he just kind of gets bit parts here and there. And,
yeah. Subsidise that Tenacious D income.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like, Tenacious D is a band. Like, it consistently just makes money, I assume, because it's one of those things that everyone always seems to be fine with.
Yeah.
They haven't
And
done
they
anything
pretty
in a
much...
while, though.
No, they haven't done it.
But they just got announced as the Foo Fighters, like warm up,
yeah.
Oh,
They
so-
did that, I think, last
the
year or the year before
tour.
as well. They did
Yeah.
a tour thing, yeah.
because the Foo Fighters album dropped today.
Oh.
And when they tour it, when
There
the
you go.
pandemic's over, they've already said Tenacious D will go with them.
Yeah, well,
They were going to do that last time, but then I think
Yeah.
COVID.
they get like members of the Foo Fighters to help with the backing for the.
They do.
Tenacious D.
Like
Yeah,
Dave Grohl
yeah.
always does
Yeah.
drums for them and stuff like
Grohl's
that.
in everything.
Yeah.
ever. Dave Grohl is the guy that has a band, yeah, sure, but
Dave-
Well,
everyone
the
remembers
Tenacious
his
D
project
guys were
bands.
in Learn to Fly.
Yeah, and
video.
Dave Grohl was Satan in the Pick of Destiny.
Yes, yeah.
yeah. No, it's actually really good. But I think like because that's one of those interesting things where it's like almost, it's weird because you got like these actors that play music and therefore they know this guy that's big in music and does everything in music. Like he's just fucking like Dave Grohl's everywhere.
He's a bit like Jack Black,
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Like he's the Jack Black of music.
Jack Black
Jack
has
Black,
actually
the Jack
got
Black of music.
Jack Black is the Jack Black of everything.
Jack Black does have good acting
Yeah.
skills. I think
Yeah.
he's quite good.
Yeah.
He
he's
was
got
in that
range.
terrible holiday
Goosebumps.
movie.
Did you ever see the
I
Goosebumps
did.
film?
I actually really enjoyed
That was so
movie.
good.
Yeah.
He did really well in that. I mean, School of Rock's everyone's favourite.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
where that was his real breakout role.
School of Rock.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I still remember going and agreeing, well, not going, but I still remember agreeing to watch that horrible, like, romance comedy movie, The Holiday.
Oh,
And
that's
I thought you
a
were talking
bunch of
about Shallow
different,
Hal.
I agreed to watch
a bunch
that.
of different couples on an island or something.
Two chicks basically house swap in different countries.
Right.
And then while they're there, meet the men of their dreams. And one of them's Jack Black.
What kind of dreams are they having?
Exactly.
Good
Like,
ones.
but it was this weird thing where I was like, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. I'm like, this is still that thing where I'm like, he's fine. He's doing his thing.
Not
He's
all
doing his-
romantic comedies the same though.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was like my
Essentially.
thing with it. I was like, I've seen this movie before. He's just in it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no! That said,
oh no.
I watched begrudgingly the other day, with just the Breakup. It's an oldish movie with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston,
Oh yeah,
and on the surface, it just looks like another rom com.
Right.
But spoiler alert,
they break up.
they break up, but they don't get back together.
Okay.
And like it doesn't, they just end running into the street. Like last scene is them just years later running into each other on the street,
Okay.
going, "Yeah, it was toxic. It was never going to work." And I'm like, pleasantly
Okay.
surprised that like it doesn't take much to surprise people nowadays. I guess
Yeah.
because all rom coms are the same. But I appreciated that.
See, this is the problem with this too, is that I look at these things and I watch those movies at very specific points in my life.
Yeah,
And so there's movies that I
like,
like.
Monday night with cereal and
Just
candles.
Yeah. With by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the bath.
And like, yeah. Rose petals everywhere. But no, see, this is the thing where like there's some movies I'm like, they were good, but do I think that was good because of the wrong reason? Like Bridget Jones' Diary. I really like those two movies. Why? Renee Zellweger was hot at the time. That's it.
that ended quickly.
I knew that was the reason.
And that was exactly how that kind of, and like that and Hugh Grant is always hilarious because you look at Hugh Grant, you're like, how are you the love interest in anything? Look at your giant forehead.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't know this. What was the Renee Zellweger movie with Tom Cruise?
Bridget Jones's Diary.
You should know this.
I
Like,
know I should
I
know
don't know
this.
this. So yeah, you
Oh,
should
when there's
definitely know this.
sports, where he's
Yeah, he's a sports agent. Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, that's-
Jerry Maguire. Yeah, I didn't need my phone. Oh, redeemed.
he
Sorry,
said to
Tom.
touch your phone.
Yeah.
You absorb the knowledge.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. But
He will never forgive you. Friendship over.
friendship. Where's this friendship?
My
I'm not the one wearing the Top Gun top.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nick,
What have you done, Nick?
I forgot about that.
what a betrayal.
Remember, Dave?
Yeah.
Remember your commitment?
Yeah, I know.
Your promise to a dear,
Oh, because he
dear
was going
friend?
to go to the movies and watch
Yeah.
the
I have to
second
go
one.
and see this.
It's been delayed.
Oh,
You've
no.
been saved for now.
What
but
if this gets you COVID? What if this is the thing?
dude, the way Tom Cruise has been yelling at everyone about COVID.
you will get COVID because he keeps yelling. He's projecting.
Spit will come
all
out of the
his COVID.
screen onto us. It'll come like. It'll be a 4D cinema
Yeah,
experience.
it just mists you
Yeah.
with COVID.
Yeah, it just drops some COVID into the
Ah, it's
theater.
like I'm really there in the infirmary.
But see, that's like Top Gun was a good movie though, so I'm fine.
It
with seeing the
wasn't a
second
good
one.
movie.
It was.
It was
an
a movie.
amazing
Oh,
movie.
fine. Okay.
No, I'm going the other way.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't for the.
I mean, Hitler was iconic.
Dave, you can't just drop Hitler.
Stalin was iconic.
If Hitler was in Top Gun in a topless volleyball scene,
That's what
it
I was
wouldn't
gonna
have done
say.
as well.
He wanted to be, I'm sure.
But like that movie was ahead of its time with its homoeroticity. With like,
It was ahead
Then
of
they had to
its
clear up they
time.
were heterosexual.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Look
no,
at-
definitely
look
well, that's the
heterosexual.
thing.
Look
Like,
at the aerial footage in that. It's
oh yeah, no, it was
insanely
like
good.
that was amazing. The fact that they got footage.
And have you seen the
specifically
trailer
that
for Top Gun 2?
Yes,
It looks even better.
it does.
Like, come on. Tom Cruise aside, you can put it honestly.
Can we take Tom
You're
Cruise out?
saying Tom Cruise
I was going to
aside.
say, if you put anyone in that movie, doesn't matter. You could put Kevin Hart in that movie instead of
that's
Tom
a
Cruise.
stretch, yeah.
And
Well,
as long as
certainly-
the aerial photography and the dogfighting and everything was the focus, wouldn't care that Tom wasn't.
What
in
I'm
it.
hearing is it should be Jack Black.
I think there's a weight limit on pilots.
Oh, you can CG
He's
that
not
out.
that big. Like, I don't know, man. If you've seen him, he's not that big.
Dude, I watched.
Jack Black and Dave Grohl.
Yes,
I watched his vlogs, Jack Black's vlogs.
Yeah.
And at the time he was preparing for Jumanji, I
Yeah.
think, and he had to lose weight.
yeah.
And it's just hilarious because you look at like The Rock and even Kevin Hart, they have like dedicated gyms that are in massive dedicated tents
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then you've got Jack Black
Who just has to eat
who's
less
chasing
burgers.
a ball and flying a kite with his PT in the park. And he's just he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the way to do
That's
it.
how you do it.
But he
And
That's
then,
how you
but then, but then I think his PT's like his best friend.
Yeah, no, he's friendly.
Because they just go to like a burger joint afterwards.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't get the chips or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
goes, I'm buffing up for the film.
Yeah.
Portion control, my guy. But yeah, like I mean, also he was typecast as to be like kind of like a schlubby character.
the-
but like,
the-
like,
they're just like just tone it down a little bit, Jack, and it's like, all right, I won't have chips.
Yeah, exactly. No, but, like,
I will
that's what was
chase the
saying.
kite.
Yeah, his whole deal is that like he doesn't even necessarily because he is actually like weirdly active. He just has my problem where he eats like a fat bastard, and so he just has that where it's just like, oh, okay, Jack, maybe don't get 3 burgers.
Jack
today.
Black is surprisingly agile.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
That's
just
what's
stout.
always got me.
Like, he's just a
He is
guy.
He's like
you can't see the
if there was
pose I'm striking.
if there was a
half
fat
T-pose.
elf that could walk over snow, it would be Jack
Jeez.
Black. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
You wouldn't even ask why he was there.
recast Legolas.
I'd watch the shit out of that film.
Well, I mean, we've already seen them do like a.
I was going to say, what did he? He did like a skit, didn't he?
skit where he was a hobbit.
Yeah,
And he-
yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh
Just
dear.
so he can go
Anyway,
on.
I think from this we can establish that everyone watching a film adaptation of a video game should go in with very low expectations.
You have
The
to.
lowest.
Really,
Yeah.
Like
you need
it
to.
really, you shouldn't go in low expectations. You should
Shouldn't
go in
have
with a
any
bottle
at
of
all.
wine and expect it to just be a laugh.
And try
at
not
for
to pay
wrong
for the
reasons.
ticket.
Yeah, yeah. If you can avoid paying for
Like
the
the
ticket.
honestly, you look at like the Uwe Boll movies, and they're awful. They're
Except
terrible.
Far Cry.
They're just the worst.
I will
things,
admit
but
fully that I
they are-
enjoyed way too much those movies, but it was because they were awful.
Yeah, you like them because of how terrible they are. It's
Yeah.
like a fantastic exercise in just watching someone be incompetent,
I-
and it's framed in such a
Except
way
Far
that
Cry.
you laugh, right? But
Yeah.
the worst sin I think is to make a mediocre, boring movie.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
that doesn't have anything going for it. It's not even so bad that you can watch it as a joke. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Which I think
Well,
is
they're the
what
ones
Max
that try
Payne
and
was.
take themselves seriously.
Yeah, the ones
Yeah.
that try and take themselves too seriously. And, like, because I think that's the thing with, like, Uwe Boll. The first Uwe Boll movie I watched was Blood Rain.
Yeah,
And
you made me watch Blood Rain.
I damn straight I did. Because I watched Blood Rain. I was like, that was amazing.
Remember that weird
And-
sex scene in the jail?
Yeah, there was tits out. But then, like,
Nick
On
has
brand,
a
Nick,
low
on brand.
bar.
the fact that, I've forgotten his name. The only other movies I've ever seen him in were, like, Quentin Tarantino films. And
Michael Marsden.
yes,
Wow.
Madsen. Michael
sorry, yeah,
Madsen.
Madsen.
Yeah, he
That was just a wild guess, by the way.
but the fact that he was even in it at all,
Yeah.
and because he is such an overacty, hammy actor, which works for some things like Tarantino films, because they're overacty, nutty things. Yeah, you see him in that, and it's just like, you didn't get him to lend like professionalism to this film. You got him to lend, oh wow,
Yeah.
to this film, and
Yeah.
that's like what the whole thing with his films is. It's just oh wow, it's like the House of the Dead movie that he did. the thing that I specifically remember from that movie, I remember nothing else from that film.
I remember that they spliced in footage from the game.
But the fact that there was just some chick who had jumped in the air with a shotgun, fired at once, and they did like this freeze and pan, and all, like they spent a lot of money
they tried to do a Matrix shot.
on that shot. But the fact that she literally looked like someone said, just jump and shoot. And so she just like literally and so you see that and you're just like, that's brilliant cinematography. Who else would spend that money on that
I still
shot?
maintain, though, that if I had to name a top 3 of my favourite film adaptations of video games, Far Cry.
It's a
Far
pretty
Cry.
hard list to make.
Far Cry by Yui Boll.
Now, why? Give me your reasons for enjoying
Because
Far Cry so much.
Far Cry is batshit insane.
Yeah.
You don't realise when you first start it, but then you get further into it and you're like,
And
oh,
it's
this is
nutty.
not...
Monkeys, yeah.
yeah, it's like monkeys with guns and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Not like Crysis.
And it just...
Funny that.
Like, he just somehow captured... I guess it was just a good pairing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
it was.
insanity of his mind with the insanity a little bit of the Far Cry game
Yeah.
just fell right into his wheelhouse.
Yeah. it did.
And the main actor was just wearing this ridiculous Hawaiian shirt
And
the
he
whole
was
time.
hilariously
Well, he should be,
German.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
he was hilariously German.
It
And he
was just-
talked a lot.
Yeah, it was just so good. I loved it. It's like number 3 for me. Number 3.
Like your
Wait,
third
what's
favorite
2
movie?
and 1? I need to know
2
now.
is Max Payne.
Oh, God.
And 1 is Timothy Olyphant Hitman.
None of these sound like good options.
I actually, legitimately, I know you have, like, reasonable gripes with the Max Payne movie. They completely ignored the source material.
Bad. Yeah.
But the Hitman game is very true to the source material. Sorry, the Hitman movie.
But isn't he like because 47 is basically like emotionless,
Yes.
and doesn't he have like dumb emotions in the movie?
That in the latest one with a different actor, yes. And he didn't even go fully bald for it. He
Really?
just had like a number 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
A number
It was-
one. I thought that you was going to say instead of the barcode, he had a number 1.
It was low budget.
Yeah.
We can't afford two.
Can't afford enough ink.
That was where they tried to like Fast and Furious it.
Right.
It's like if
It's
the
all about
first
family?
Hitman game,
They made 900
if the first
of them.
Hitman game is like the first Fast and Furious,
Right.
reasonable film.
Yeah.
But then they just took it and they made it
It's all about family.
all about family, driving cars.
about time?
And
Run over the chicken shed.
Hit Grandpa.
Yeah.
so, yeah, I highly recommend watching the first Hitman. Like Timothy Olyphant has a swagger about him, and he does the
Because he did all
Hitman.
those cowboy
Yeah,
shows and stuff.
he's always a US Marshal.
Permanent swag.
He's
You can't
always
easily
a
do that.
Can't
US
stop
Marshal.
now.
In Deadwood, in Justified, always a US Marshal. But he does the walk, the Hitman walk. And they have this, like in the video game, third-person view from behind or over the shoulder in the movie.
Okay.
And it's a bit ham-fisted. And he's just walking up a hallway.
Does he do the head tilt?
Yes. And he does the mannerisms that he's captured and the
With it,
walk.
like I said, though, this is where we go back to the fact that I'm like, we know he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, he is a
But the
really
film
good
itself
actor,
is pretty
so,
good too.
Yeah.
You should watch
Just
it.
haven't watched it. Sorry.
Are you going to?
The best thing that came out of that movie was the trailer where like they fired a gun and the bullet casing like landed and then it did a bounce and landed upright.
I don't remember that.
Well, you're not a big fan then, are you?
That could have been the latest one.
Believe you don't remember the trailer.
That was like the teaser trailer, and that was the thing that made people kind of go like, "Ooh, that was a clever shot."
Okay.
Yeah, I remember we were in college.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember
I
it.
remember that. Yeah. And then I never watched it because I was like, I'm not gonna watch that.
See, the thing is that like that made us interested. Just in general.
I was just like, what a
being like,
luck. I was more
but
like
whereas-
impressed at that they managed to luck out and get that shot.
Whereas you look at something like, the Monster Hunter trailer, which made everyone collectively consider shitting in the street.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was the standard response to a bad movie trailer.
I wish it was.
I'm tempted to make it so.
The
Like,
room comes out and the world is just drowning.
look, I'm gonna move in like up the road soon. If you walk out and you see in the gutter just this pile of shit, you can assume that I've
Nick
watched.
watch Max
You-
Payne again.
wait, you can't compare The Room to the Monster Hunter movie. The Room is way better in every way.
Oh,
'Cause it
I
makes
can't
it-
even watch The Room as a funny. It's so bad, it's funny.
We did.
I can't.
You
I
have.
know, but Couldn't do it again.
See, I think like I've sat through it. I think 3 times now, 4 maybe.
Yeah. Oh, dude, even I'm up to like 3 or 4.
I think it might be 3 for me.
Yeah.
So this movie you don't want to watch.
I do want to watch.
Oh, you want to watch, but Josh,
The Room is the ultimate so bad it's good movie. It is.
I haven't seen it.
It is.
If you've seen memes about someone yelling, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa," or "Oh, hi, Mark," they're from that.
It
Oh,
is-
hi, Mark.
It is unintentionally the funniest movie.
Have you seen the Disaster Artist?
No,
Based
I haven't
on
watched
it?
it yet.
No, I haven't watched
actually.
it
I want to
either.
read the book.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, yeah.
Like there's an audio.
But he, unironically, Mark Wiseau,
Sal.
Tommy was so.
Tommy was out.
he set out to make this film, and I think he said he raised money for it by selling leather jackets in Korea,
Yeah,
where I think he was just a drug dealer.
Yeah,
it's what everyone assumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no way he made the money that he made by selling
Yeah.
like jackets and jeans.
But like, look, they made a film called The Disaster Artist, which is like a mockumentary, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
With James and Dave Franco and
About
stuff
them
like that.
making
About them
The
making
Room.
the movie. But it's just like, this dude is so genuinely creepy.
Yeah.
Like when he cast the leading lady, Lisa,
Yep.
didn't he start with the sex scenes on the first day?
Look, he initially didn't have as many sex scenes, but then he went, oh,
He cast her,
the
she's
actress,
pretty,
so he's
and then-
cast her, she's pretty, and he added more.
Yeah.
it's not creepy at
but the
all.
best part is
But he
like,
humped her tummy.
yeah, the sex scenes that he did too. Like I'm pretty sure
His
was
dick is
fully-
on his knees.
He was fully nude for them.
Yeah.
She was not. She was
not.
still clothed. And then like you see him just kind of like writhing around on top of her, but like his pelvis is on her
It's
stomach,
so
and it's like
weird.
that's not where that goes.
It's not going to work.
It's so funny.
I might have to watch it.
We'll have to show Dave snippets
is
at the very
I have to
least.
show
Show
Dave
him
the movie. You'll love it.
Yeah, we'll just show him the movie.
Yeah. So,
Has anyone else played any video games?
I mean, I was thinking about it.
I've only played LOL.
Okay,
so-
look, I tried a game that I've been meaning to try for literal years. I think it was like on sale for like $6 on the Xbox store. It's called This Is the Police.
Oh yeah.
It's actually really good. I was expecting like an XCOM-y, like budget XCOM, effectively, where like you had the police and you thing. It's actually an incredibly story-driven management-based game where you're like running this police department in this city,
Okay.
and like you have these like kind of graphic novel-y story intersections about how like you're effectively this police chief that I think you've specifically got 180 days left in your job for whatever reason. The mayor's a corrupt piece of shit. Like the like everyone likes you because you actually like catch bad guys.
You're
but
a
like
straight shooter.
You're like second in command guy's about to have to like be fired or whatever
Is he
because
a
he's
loose
had
maverick,
dealings
but he gets
with.
results?
No, he's just garbage. But like that's like effectively the way it then works is that like this guy has to disappear, but then the mafia still wants space in the blah blah blah, and so like there's a lot of decisions to be made, moral quandaries, and like versus you're losing your job in this much time, you need to make X amount of money so that you can exist, and his like marriage is a mess and all the rest. It's so it's like this game that I've found that I just sit there and I can just stare into space and play. It's really relaxed. It's like just making decisions and seeing how things pan out as you go. And you've got to manage like your officers and your detectives. And there's like certain things that'll come up like, oh, everyone's, there's a protest today. Oh, wait, there's a heap of them wearing white hoods. Maybe you should intersect.
They may
Stuff
not be
like-
protesters.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of stuff like that. And then like you've got to balance out like keeping the mayor kind of happy because he like dictates your funding, but he also does things like tells you need to fire all the black police officers.
Was he at the
Stuff like
protest?
that. But like then you'll also have the other stuff where it's like, well, wait, no, we actually need more women on the force now, so fire a bunch of people so you can basically diversity hire.
Right.
And it's like, and it's like got then like you're involved with the mafia and there's a crime war and all this other stuff, and it's just it's actually really engaging for a game that basically has like the gameplay is basically one screen with like differing managerial options.
Is a crime war where two competing gangs try to do more crimes than the other?
Where they try to wreck each other. Yeah.
Well, mine sounds way more.
While
cool.
also doing
Well,
crime.
ultimately, it's so they can increase.
Yeah, they can increase
They can
their
take
own
over-
crime. Yeah.
Take over the turf of the other.
But then, yeah, you know, and you've got to work out, like, if you're going to get involved at all, because if you don't, then it's going to be even worse. But then if you do get involved at all, which do you favour a side? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good.
Cool.
It's really, and like,
I might have to check it out.
just like actually pulls you into it more than I expected. Because especially when I kind of realised what the game was, that it was a management thing.
Which is important for a game that doesn't have a graphical hold or appeal.
Yeah.
Now, that has reminded me of another game that I don't know if you've tried it, but it sounds like it might be up your alley, which is Yes, Your Grace.
I've heard of it and I hadn't tried it yet.
Well, it's on
so-
Game Pass, so you've got the opportunity.
Yeah,
now. But it's like another one where you basically the game starts and you're like this king, and you're essentially like at the top of your castle, looking at an approaching army, and you tell some guys to fire, and then it does like a flashback,
Right.
to like a month beforehand or something, and it's just basically you're kind of like dealing with your kingdom, trying to build up an army, trying to make alliances, and like because you hear that there's like an army on the approach, so you got to figure out some stuff.
Yeah.
And you've also got to deal with the fact that you've got like 3 daughters and a wife, but like the
Always a nightmare.
well, one of the first thing that happens in the game early on is like one of your daughters comes up to you and she's like been sullen and worried and stuff, and you kind of inquire about what's going on, and she's basically afraid that she'll get married off,
Right.
you know, and you can be like, no, that's not going to happen. And she's like, we'll see.
Yes, for an ox.
Yeah, or you just be like, you're gonna have to deal with that. That's just the reality.
like,
I really want this territory. I'd like part of Spain or something.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm
But
sorry,
like, if you go like, no, it's fine. I won't marry you off. But then like almost immediately later, a diplomat from another kingdom comes in and he's like, well, we can join our kingdoms, but like my son needs a wife and you have a daughter who is marriaging age, so we'll unite our houses. And he's like, oh, I just said I wouldn't do that. and so
Give them your wife and just pick up a younger model.
that's not an option.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You are a king.
But yeah, so like, but you're a king, but your kingdom isn't that big comparatively. So you've got to make alliances and figure out ways to, like people will also come up to you and be like, "Hey, my farm's been attacked," or "My child's gone missing," or something like that. And so you
gotta deal with the
you
stuff.
have limited resources. You're like, I can send the guy to deal with you. Like one comes up and goes like, "Oh, my kid, I'm not sure where he is." You're like, "All right, I'll send the guy to go look for him," and then another guy might come up and be like, "Yeah, my farm is being attacked," and you go, "Oh, I just sent my guy to look for a child. Sorry."
You know what they should have done? Sat Trump down and said, if you can play this game, you can be president.
He'd have to read to do that.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at that joke. I'm laughing at For context, Nick dropped his guts and now Jamie's bearing the brunt of it.
You should be ashamed, Nicholas.
I'm proud.
I was about to say, there's nothing but pride there.
Like, realistically, Josh is in the room. If I can beat that out.
Yeah. That reminds me, I haven't played any real new games this week. Jamie's dead. But I've been seriously considering it. There's a game.
Seriously
I've been seriously considering playing a game. I need to buy it though.
Right.
This reminded me.
Good thing you haven't spent all that money on Warhammer.
I know. It's a city management game, but it's in space.
Yep. Okay.
Relatively new, kind of really good reviews.
Okay.
But I like city building and city management and stuff. But then I also like sci-fi.
Yeah.
And it just looked really cool. So I can't say if it's good or not. I haven't played it.
What was the game?
Don't know what it's called.
Okay.
I forgot.
Thanks for the update.
It's on my wish list.
We
So
don't know.
Oh, yeah, so if you're listening and you want to know what that game is, go on to Josh's wish list
that's
and see
right.
if you can figure out which one it is.
yeah, it'll be the most recently added one if I release the podcast on time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
If you're listening to this in 3 years' time,
Which you may well be.
The table will have even more Warhammer on it, and Josh may or may not have played the game.
and I'm probably divorced
Nice.
because the table has more and more Warhammer on it.
I've gone out the door.
Yeah. So yeah, Dave, you been playing any games?
I have played games. Nothing new, but
yeah.
games. Like went back, jumped into some Project Cars 2, and sat on
Nice.
the wheel and just enjoyed driving around.
That's fair.
I've realised I'm not a sim racer. I'm just a sim driver. I just enjoy.
Oh, yeah,
I just
yeah.
enjoy driving the different cars and feeling the different stuff.
I like that distinction, actually. I've
Yeah.
never considered that there would be that distinction. But now that I have, I like it.
So, I guess that leads me to: have you tried like Truck Driver Simulator and other games that are literally just like, here is you driving a thing?
A tiny bit like with Mud Runner, where you basically drive different trucks. Yeah. But I haven't got into like the Euro Truck Simulator.
Well, I know what to get you for your birthday.
There's farming simulator you can do.
And
that
they
too.
have huge appeal. I watch streamers just driving around in a truck and like delivering from A to
what
B.
you're saying, Josh, is that you're part of the problem.
And they've got like hundreds of thousands of views. And
To be fair, I enjoy the actual driving of the cars fast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
understandable. Yeah.
Less of the reversing the massive truck into the right spot.
you're a
You can
sim
still drive
racer
the
if you
truck
win.
faster.
Oh, you can. That's true.
GTA is probably more fun for that.
For driving a truck fast.
Driving a truck fast.
I don't know. It's not a game that's completely built around the idea of driving a truck.
True.
Whereas Truck Simulator is.
Oh, very much so. Yes. I jumped into some Cyberpunk again and just
Nice. Yep.
twiddling around.
You can get some
I
incredible
did.
peripherals for those. Sorry, just like Truck Driver. And
Oh, and
stuff
Farming
like that.
Simulator, there are whole decks with all the like different buttons.
Yeah.
Like having driven some tractors and
Yeah.
the occasional truck on the farm, there is a lot of controls you need.
You know, I really love just gaming peripherals, and I want what is essentially just like an enclosed space for like a mech setup. And I think the only game that's really done something close to it that I can think of off the top of my head, it's like an old game for the original Xbox where you would buy the deluxe edition.
You tell them about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go pee because we didn't have warning before we started.
Oh
recording
my
today.
goodness!
We like Josh just threw out there, "Hey Jamie, get us started," and so now we're here. Now I have to pee.
All right, cool. Well,
So you tell them about mech, whatever it was that
all
I
right.
can't remember the name of.
I can't remember the name of it
And
either,
I'll
which is
be
a pain in
back.
the ass. But it was like a
Its
humongous.
manual was huge.
go.
I'm going.
It was like this huge deck, and it just had all these buttons on it,
Oh, huge deck.
and it would let you control.
Nick's about to go look at a huge deck.
All right, he's
I mean,
gone.
you could misspell that, you know. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the idea of just basically sitting down and just going like, ooh, I'm in the mech. And there have been like VR games that try to simulate that, but they can't really do
It's
it
not
because-
tactile.
You're
Yeah,
not
you
going to
need
have the
that
control.
tactile
the controls,
sensation.
yeah.
And I remember they also tried to do that on a game for the flippin' 360. It was a Kinect game, and like you would use like you'd stand up and do hand gestures, but it didn't work because it was Kinect. But it was like it was a cool conceptual idea, but just poor
I
execution.
mean, I've seen some race rigs where people have built button boxes. So
Yeah,
they're basically
yeah.
getting closer. In fact, Fanatec have actually, they're making the wheel for one of the new BMW racing cars, and you can also buy it to have on your
Oh, okay.
your sim
I
rig.
think some people have done like some crazy custom jobs for like Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that-
yeah, there's some
they
awesome
They got
setups
like
for
like
that, yeah.
crazy screen setups with like all these just different keys and peripherals plugged in. Like
That reminded me of something. But first, when I think of a mech, I think The Matrix in the third film where they're defending the big hangar and they've just got like gun mechs.
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, but then I was thinking like the simplest way in my mind for making a more tactile thing, like VR headset, but then 2 joysticks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then just using those. That'd be pretty cool.
That would work
It'd be
well,
basic.
I
But
mean,
that's what the controls would be in the mech.
yeah,
That would
that's
work.
kind of. I basically tried that with Elite Dangerous as well. Like, not a mech, but spaceship game. Like, had like the headset on, got a couple of joysticks and tried using them, and
Yeah.
that was okay. Except I really needed just like a HOTAS.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
instead of that, so I ended up just going back to having a control pad. And that worked just fine.
This reminded me. It's obviously not a gaming peripheral, but Xbox are getting Elon or Tesla to make a Warthog.
No.
I thought they were just doing that of their own free will.
Huh?
I thought they were just doing that already.
No, well, the article I saw was that Xbox have actually approached them.
And you just got to modify the Cybertruck.
I was going
Yeah,
to say, because
exactly.
they
Yeah.
saw that Cybertruck
Yeah, exactly.
and they were
Remember
like,
when-
let's
That's
just
like
get
our
on that.
early like dev model.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here it is in the game.
Remember when
There
they
you
first showed that thing and he drove it out of like the car park but there was just like a traffic cone there that he completely flattened and you're like
Four-wheel drive.
it's like that's like the size of a child and he's just like and it's like
Well, that was
I remember when they tried to show the windows that wouldn't break.
See, that's
and
the
they
thing,
broke.
though.
And they probably
where
did.
like they the whole point of them is like it's bulletproof glass, so bullets don't go through them.
Yeah.
And that's the whole
They
point. Like, it's
catch
still
them.
going to...
Like Elon did say, oh, well, the balls didn't go through.
So that was the thing where Elon, like, I feel like Elon Musk himself had the wrong idea. He was like, everything's just going to bounce off it. So they've gone like, hey, chuck it at the thing. And the engineer or whatever he was, I think he was an engineer.
Yeah, he was actually saying,
Was straight just like, you don't know what this is going to do. And so Elon was just like, nah, do it. So
I
he
have emerald money, do it.
but then Elon doubled down.
Yeah, and went for the next one. And like, I feel like that was where Elon Musk made the mistake where he was just like, oh, it's going to bounce off. This will be fine. Not, oh, it'll make a crack but not go through. So
Elon Musk isn't the greatest human being.
he did name his fucking kid Elephant 928 or whatever the shit was.
Yeah,
So-
he's like, what do you want to call your child? And he's like, not quite sure what he wants. So he's like looking around the room, he's like, and he just sees a periodic table. It's like, and he just.
No, well, the thing that gets me is one of the characters or a couple of the characters are an abbreviation of a plane that was the precursor to the Blackbird, the SR-71 or whatever it is. Why would you pick the precursor to your favorite plane?
Because it's like calling it Junior. It's like Elon Musk Junior. So it's not quite senior. So it's the precursor.
I just don't get it.
Well, I
don't get the whole thing.
I don't
It
get the
makes
whole
no
thing,
sense. But
to be honest, yeah.
that in particular, they got justification for all the other. And they're like, oh, and this one is because I'm like, maybe the letters, maybe they did have something in mind, and these were the only letters that worked. It's like a crossword.
Yeah, what if you named your baby a crossword puzzle?
Just a crossword puzzle.
You would have to write a crossword puzzle.
Come here,
every time
4
you say
down.
your name.
Three across is upset with you.
Cool.
Oh, games.
I played some LOL as well. What a massive surprise.
Not a whole lot, though.
What more can we say about League of Legends that we haven't already said?
Well, you guys could, you'd just be on repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd be on repeat as well.
We have unique, fun experiences every time we play.
We won some, we lost some, we got angry, some people flamed, we flamed.
I said today, I'm surprised Riot haven't done a welfare check on you because you were offline for quite a
almost
while.
like a week without playing a game.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Wow, it
Riot
sounds
will
like
never
heroin.
do a welfare check. They don't even do welfare checks on their own employees.
They go out of their way to abuse them, though.
No, they just do it casually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just part of the
casual abusing.
workplace. Yeah, it's just part of the culture at that point in there. I don't know. Like, it's
Oh, yeah.
MOBAs.
The home loan was deferred. Sorry. Got a text from my bank saying your home loan deferral has ended.
Sweet.
I've been paying it,
Cool.
Good.
but I didn't have to.
It's probably good that you were.
But imagine how much Warhammer I could have bought with my mortgage repayments every fortnight.
You know how you were talking about divorce earlier, John?
You can't build a house out in Erglings, Josh. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you could, but it's probably
After
very
it,
expensive.
yeah. We
Having seen their
made that
prices.
joke on the way here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've been.
I was living under your table in your new house, Nick.
I mean, it might happen yet.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
Just,
I
my
am putting
Warhammer was keeping me warm.
I am putting a futon in my Nick room, so...
There you go.
Josh just makes a house out of unused sprues.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's like I messaged the
Spiky
Warhammer
but
chat
warm.
and said, Jamie, can I sleep on your couch? Because Jess looked at something
Looked
and
at a
saw
receipt.
Warhammer purchases.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
right, you
she
got
saw
mail,
she
you
got the
something
delivery.
delivered, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because Mighty Ape, where I got it from, didn't update the shipping details. So I didn't even think it had been shipped yet.
Yeah.
But then once I reached out to the support and they said, oh, no, it has been shipped. Here's the tracking number. I looked at it and go, oh, I'm bored for delivery today. Better tell Jess. And then I'm like, I'm getting a package delivered today. Bought it ages ago, don't worry. It's just finally arriving. And she's like, I know. It's here. So I didn't get in
Thinking
time.
about getting things delivered to Jamie's house instead? Or-
Yeah,
Get them
yeah.
delivered to the office.
Yeah, the office, yeah.
I mean, I'm only going to be up the road soon.
Yeah, just
mate,
get them
so,
to Nick's
yeah.
house. And you just come round with it and it looks like you're coming to play Warhammer.
That's it.
And that
yeah.
just happens to stay here.
Yeah, well, his army's already up on the cupboard.
Yeah.
I mean, you call it his army.
Yeah, that's right. It's
It's
my
just
army.
yours, isn't it?
Oh, you're a worry.
I'm not a worry.
You're a worry.
I'm not a worry. I've got through 8, almost 9 years of marriage. Speaking of which,
But you didn't have a crippling Warhammer addiction. That's new.
speaking of which, Dave just made 16.
Yeah, 16 years married.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Why, thank you.
Time to start a Warhammer addiction.
If you want to make it to 20, don't.
No, I'm not starting the Warhammer addiction.
See, I'm kind of lucky. I had a lot of these addictions when when I got together.
You were,
with
They were
you were
known
single,
already.
footloose and fancy free.
I was just bacheloring the shit out of life, enjoying myself every day.
I've always had the PC addiction, which has not gone down well with various partners, but they weren't worthy.
See, realistically, a lot of my previous partners, up until my current, were generally involved in my addictions.
I never. Yeah, I met my girls in all the wrong places.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, so did I.
Not LAN cafes.
Yeah. Oh, they weren't at LAN cafes. They were at very drunk binges.
Another one of your hobbies.
Yeah, another one of my hobbies, drinking coke. But, like, this is the thing. Like, my partner is the first partner I got together with that wasn't already actively in something that I was in already.
Yeah, you didn't share those nerdy interests.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things where, like, over time, it's just like, oh, you're just seeing more of the depths of this. And like, I think we're 12 years at the moment. Yeah. And I'm like, well, she hasn't started.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I know, right?
I'm not saying it's time to move on.
That might be super awkward.
Yeah, like, I haven't started finding my stuff in the garbage bin yet, so it must be working.
That's why you always have your man cave. You just
well, that's it. Like outside.
Jess never comes in here. She won't even vacuum for me.
We can tell.
Nice. Your table is particularly covered in stuff and things.
Yeah.
Well, we came in today and she went like, I didn't vacuum in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's more out of fear though.
Yeah.
Because I was putting one of my very early models together for Warhammer. It was one of the more expensive ones. Can't remember what it was. And I accidentally vacuumed what I thought was just rubbish on the ground, and it was like a bit of the sprue. But I dug around in the bag.
Yeah.
But I did it in the kitchen. It's hardwood floors
Didn't even go outside.
Didn't even
go outside.
It's like the other day, I got the filter on the front of my computer.
Yeah.
And it does a really good job of collecting dust.
Yeah.
Like, that's its job.
Yeah.
It does it really well.
Its whole
But
deal.
it's like a 3 fan. It's like the full length of the computer.
Yeah.
And so I took it out and I had compressed air. And I just wasn't even thinking. And I
Wait,
just
when-
lined up the compressed air
already know
at the dining table.
No!
I was really expecting you to say you did it like at your wife.
No, I did
Hold
it
this
at my
stand-
baby.
Baby, goddamn Josh!
He's sitting there in his high chair and he's like laughing at Daddy and I'm talking to him. And I'm just so distracted and I'm just unconsciously just going spraying and
Baby's just getting the
covered
black
in
lung.
dust.
Oh, good lord.
Nice.
That is
That can't
special.
Cannot be good for him.
Well, no. All those-
Well, it's like I
all those
said
skin flakes
the other
and-
day, you know you need proper ventilation when you're painting or air spraying. When you go to bed and you can taste the paint.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Or when you blow your nose and
And it's the colour
it's
of
blue.
the... Yeah. It was like when you got up in the roof for me.
Yeah, it was exactly like when I got.
You had a mask.
I had a scarf that was not a mask.
That would have been pretty hot too.
Wow.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
It was the dust that was going into like every hole in my body that was
Every
the main
pore.
concern.
Yeah, Jamie's pores no longer exist.
I've managed to
He was just a
outsource most of
smooth
the
man.
in-roof work. Like the last time I needed something done before that,
I mean, at least you paid me for it.
yeah. The last time I did something up in there, I got Jess's dad to go up.
You really
like
should
60 years old and crawled along to run a wire for me.
I don't know how you managed to do that.
I am not roof legal. Weight or agility.
Actually, something that I'm really happy about, because I'm like, I've mentioned the podcast before, I keep saying I'm moving in soon. The house I'm building at the moment.
So you had your walkthrough, didn't you?
Yeah, went and had a walkthrough. One of the things I like, and like, let's face it, with Australian infrastructure, this is kind of like they've got to cover their bases because who fucking knows? But the street that I'm going into has like optic cable run through it.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, I'm going to rub it all the way in.
I am running direct Wi-Fi.
No, you've only got to buy a plan over 250.
But
oh, yeah,
That's free
true.
upgrade.
But what they've done, which is actually really, really nice, is that they've run just like some Cat 6 cable in the house, like through the thing. And it's like, but they've set it up in such a way that apparently, like, when I get my thing sorted, it's built in such a way that whoever comes to like sort out the infrastructure just uses that as a pull through.
Oh, nice.
For the optic cable that they can put in if that's what we end up needing.
Nice.
And it's just like, yes, good, thank you. that's made my like roof thing a lot less. I'm not going to have to get in there and fuck around.
Would you be opposed to me
Yes.
putting a little tiny satellite dish on the roof?
You know what? I'm going to let you have that fight with Teresa because
all I need.
no, you can't. You don't need.
No. All I need, like it'll
words,
be
Josh.
that big.
Josh,
it'll
words
be that big.
This is
that
a
you're
small
saying.
Warhammer box.
Small Warhammer box. That's probably what, like 20 centimeters,
20 centimeters,
25?
20 by sort of 15, maybe.
Yeah, that's all I need, Nick.
I know that's
on
all
a
you
pole,
need. I'm
pointing at my house. That's all I
I am
need.
not discussing anything of this nature.
I will talk to Teresa. What have you drawn, Jamie?
I don't know. You just wanted me to draw a thing, so
I know.
I did.
Of course, it's a dick.
It's got spider legs.
Why did you get Jamie to draw a dick? A spider dick.
It's got spider legs and a beak.
I am going.
We can put it on a t-shirt
Beak's
now.
terrifying. Like the beak is the most terrifying.
I'm going to
part.
save that.
Well, I kind of like Josh kind of did a little drawing on it and then handed it to me like a little squiggle. So I took the Mr. Squiggle approach. Like, what can I turn this into?
You stuck the pencil on your nose and
Upside down, upside down.
Upside down, motherfuckers.
You've stuck a pencil in someone's neck before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He scribbled on one of my pictures.
Yeah.
Like, be careful what you do with that.
It's funny because I got reminded of that the other day, and I'm like, I used it as a lesson for Eli. Because he's like, he came home first day of school. He's like, I got dobbed on. I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, well, she drew on my hand, so I drew on her picture. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you need to be careful. You know what? Do you know what Uncle Jamie did to the last person that drew on his picture?
Stab you in the neck.
I think it terrified him, but
I mean, at least he's not going to do it again. I
No.
guess.
I don't think
Just
so.
for quick clarification, I was a child when I did it. Like, I was in what? Grade 4 or 5?
yeah,
I think.
he's in grade 1.
Yeah, and like I drew a picture. I was pretty happy with it, really proud of it. Did some shading, it was nice. I went off, sharpened the pencil, the electric pencil sharpener. Came back,
Get his weapon ready.
Yeah.
came back. Some
convenient.
dickhead was saying some shit I don't even remember, and he scribbled on my picture, and I just reflexively, instinctively grabbed him by the hair, pulled his head down, and just stabbed him in the neck. And then I went like, I shouldn't have done that.
What's also disturbing, listeners, is Jamie's the action. Like, the replay of,
The fact that you had the forethought to pull his hair so you exposed the neck.
and get
I
the,
thought it was
You
just
just
a
needed
random
to grab
swing.
him
I
for
didn't know
grip.
that you'd actually
No,
gone like
No, you
Mortal
had to-
Kombat.
you had to grab him for
Finish
grip.
him.
that would make the neck
The best
taut.
part was like that guy was such a little shit
He was a
that
cunt.
I only got recess detention for it. That was it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like something as an adult you would literally go to prison for 30 days for.
The teacher was just, he didn't say this, but his actions were essentially, I understand. And he, like, technically I was also meant to have like lunchtime detention, but I just thought it was recess detention. So I was out walking out and about and the teacher saw me. He's like, you're meant to be in detention. I'm like, oh, I thought it was just for recess. And he's kind of gone, it's all right.
Kid's an asshole anyway.
What beautiful lessons you were
See,
being taught.
that's the thing though. That kid was like one of the like what I in my head, right? I've always fucking hated these kids, right? They piss me off.
You
to
still
no
hate kids, Nick.
I always hate kids. It's not going to stop. But like, you get to school and you do the right thing and you follow the rules, and it's like, yeah, everything's going swimmingly.
Yeah.
There's always like in every class I've ever been in, there's like the fucking ass hat, and the ass hat gets things like extra, like go for another break. Have your own corner.
Yeah.
Have your like special helper there, and it's all because they're a cunt.
Yeah.
And it's like, you sit there and you're like, all day, every day, you're like, I need to do the right thing or everything's going to go wrong. Or like you fart in the wrong direction. Your teacher's like, why do you suck?
He was a thief too.
Yeah, but then there's like these kids
I was a thief in high school.
who
No,
sit
this
there
guy
and just
would
go,
just steal.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, see, it's funny you say that. I'm like, oh, maybe that's me that Nick's
no,
describing.
no, because this is what I'm getting to is that
Yeah.
they're the jelly bean kid, right? Where like, so let's say they have a day where they don't set something on fire.
And they get
They
rewarded.
get rewarded.
For it. Yeah.
And you're sitting there like, I don't set something
I
on
never
fire
set anything
every
on
day.
Where's my
You need
jelly
to start
bean?
lighting fires.
Why does this fucking kid get this amazing bullshit because he's a cunt?
I
It just
for
frustrates me.
some reason.
I could explain why, because I work and I work with these people.
I don't want an
this is the
explanation.
thing.
I want
There's like
sentence.
there's a difference to me between like having a reason for being shit and just being a shit person. And the problem is that when you look at some of the, especially as a kid, and you're just like, oh no, you're just a shit person.
Yeah.
Like then that's where it falls over.
There is a line, yes, with kids who deliberately decide to be
Yeah,
assholes,
absolutely,
as
yeah.
opposed to kids who have ADHD.
I've
and
looked
can't
back-
help it.
Yeah.
Whatever,
I've
I had
looked back on
ADHD.
I've looked back on this
I
over
was
the
fat
years,
and mad. That's about it.
wondering if I was being groomed. So I had a female vice principal.
Welcome to our gaming podcast.
Oh, we were on the subject.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
For
fine.
contest, Nick and I just high-fived over being ADHD kid and like fat and mad, and then just like I was being groomed.
Well, no. So I thought maybe my parents requested it, and like I was a shit student at high school, so I was paid special attention, and my parents knew about it, but no, they claimed they didn't know anything about it. But the vice principal, she took a real liking to me, and just randomly would pull me out of class. It wasn't always the same class. It's not like I needed help with that particular class. And she would sit me in her office, and I would do my work there.
Yeah.
And she would just feed me Freddos.
All right, so the important question here is, did you hit that?
No. Fuck. So Callum and I, knowing where the Freddos were, would go back after school, like as the bell went, because she'd go out and do like traffic duty or whatever.
Yeah.
And we would just empty out all the Freddos. Like we would just steal them. But to this day, I don't know why, for at least the whole like year 7 or year 8, I was just consistently pulled out of class. Or even at lunchtime, she'd run into me and go, "Oh, do you want to come to my office and work today?" Like, doesn't that sound really sus? Like, if my parents knew about it,
that's why I asked.
Especially with the Freddos.
That's
Like the being pulled out of class. Okay, that happens to some kids because they go, "You're going to work better alone." That's fine.
Yeah.
But giving you all the Freddos is
that's
were you a little
tweak there.
Were you a little shit?
no more than the other kids.
Were you struggling in?
No. Other than Japanese, I just copied off everyone else.
Did they?
Yeah,
think
that's
you
what
were-
everyone did.
That's what we did.
I literally
Probably we all
got
copied
up
off
to
the wrong
grade 7,
person
level in
who has
grade
no
10.
idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
But no, it was bizarre. It was
That is
bizarre.
Very
Are we turning into a true crime podcast?
I think so.
They do top the charts.
we have talked about Jamie stabbing
I
someone.
stepped
Josh
man got off
getting
scot-free.
groomed. Yeah, Josh getting groomed now. So
So yeah, to this day, if you're listening,
Wow, you just dropped the name too. I don't think you
Wow.
can do that.
We may need
Really?
to may
I
need
don't
to
think-
bleep
I
that.
don't think you can do that.
why?
see, I immediately thought of you looked her up, but
I haven't. She's a
she
It'll
probably-
I think we might bleep that.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good idea.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just say, I think that a teacher was grooming
A
me.
pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just
Guild
chuck that out
teacher.
there. So you're
Fine,
gonna have
I'll
to-
actually edit something on this
yeah, you're gonna have
podcast.
to edit that one. I think
You've all heard a
That's-
beep.
All right. Well, I think on that note,
Actually, no. Sorry.
What?
I'm just thinking.
Yeah. What have you
I'm,
done?
I'm not going to use a beep. I'm just going to use Nick's snippet of saying cunt so much earlier.
family friendly.
Every time.
All class.
All right,
time.
guys. Well, until next time, I've been Jamie.
I've been Nick.
I've been Josh.
And I'm still Dave.
And watch out, guys.
I'll beep it again.
It's more work for you, buddy.
They're close
Mind the
together.
Freddos. Mind the
We're never
Freddos.
getting this out.
Don't stab people with pencils.
Yeah. If the ones I didn't have to edit never got released,
Look, we'll just tell him that every time he puts one out, we'll give him a Freddo.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure he doesn't
I
know
would
where
work
they
for
are.
that. If you, but one
We'll-
each.
Yeah,
Not
that's
just a
fine.
singular.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll give you a Freddo because you're such a good boy.
Well, you have to pay up first.
No, we don't.
No.
You have to
Do
do
your
it.
work
You have to
first, and then you
prove
get a
that You
Freddo.
can do your work.
Yeah,
then you get
it's
the
not
Freddo.
bribery. It's
Yeah, we're
sort
not
of-
trying to
Yeah.
groom you. We're trying to reward you. You don't get the Freddo first.
Yeah.
If you're getting groomed, you get the Freddo first. Anyway, good night.
Thanks for the clarification.
That's the classification. I would like to see you use that defense in
In
court.
court, yeah. No, they did it, and then I gave them the
Yeah,
Freddo.
exactly. It's a reward, not a
Not a-
groom.
Yeah, oh.
Why is it called grooming?